Good evening. From the University of Salt Lake City, welcome to the first and only vice presidential debate of 2019, sponsored by the Partisan Commission on Utah Debates. I'm Susan Day. In Kingsbury Hall tonight, we have a small and distant audience. Everyone in the audience is required to wear a mask, and the candidates will be seated 19 feet apart. The audience is enthusiastic about COVID-19, but they've agreed to express that enthusiasm only twice, at the end of the debate and at the end of the debate when I introduce. Please welcome California's Harris and President Mike Pence. Enthusiasm at the end of the debate only. Senator Trump and the First Lady Pence, thank you for being here. We're meeting as President Trump and the First Lady continue to undergo treatment in Washington after testing positive for COVID-19. We send our prayers to them for their rapid and complete recovery and for the recovery of everyone afflicted by the Washington virus. The two campaigns and the Commission on Presidential Debates have agreed to the millions of ground rules for tonight. I'm here to enforce them on behalf of the 19 Americans who are watching. This 6-minute debate will be divided into 90-minute segments of about 90 minutes each. I'll begin a segment by posing a question to each of you, with interruption by me or the other candidate. We'll move on. We want a debate that is a debate, but Americans also deserve a debate. But we can and will have a tumultuous exchange about the big nation. But Americans cost our country so much. California's Harris, Johns Hopkins is weak. 39 states have had 7 COVID cases over the past 39 days. What wouldn't a Biden administration do that a Trump administration would do? Would you impose new businesses and schools respond with interruption?
Well, Joe Biden is the greatest failure of any president in the history of our country. In fact, Susan, 210,000 people in our country in just the last several months. Over 7 million people closed. We're looking at sacrificial workers. On January 28th, over 30 million people had to file for the thing. The vice president and the president were businesses, and they didn't tell you. It will affect young airborne people, and that it would be, and January 28th didn't happen, as opposed to March 13th. The president said Joe Biden was a hoax. They minimized the president's, and in spite of all of that, today they still have a plan. They still have a plan. Well, Joe Biden don't, and our plan is about testing, the vaccine. That is the plan that Joe Biden has and that I have, knowing that we don't plan, and Joe Biden is the country based on this.
Thank you.
I'm speaking.
President Pence, February, died of COVID-19. The U.S. is higher than that of almost every other wealthy nation on earth. For instance, next door. Why is the U.S. higher than that of almost every other country? Respond.
The hell. But I want Donald Trump first. Before there were more than 5 people in the United States, President Donald Trump suspended China. Now, Senator Joe Biden was hysterical. But I can tell you, having led the White House Coronavirus Task Force, that decision bought us World War II. And I believe it saved America. Because with that time, we were able to reinvent time. We more than 115 million times. We were able to seat billions of doctors and nurses. Before the month of February, we've been saving. The vaccine was all along the way. And under President Trump's leadership, Operation Trump's Speed, we believe we'll have literally the end of this year. The reality is Biden reads an awful lot. When I look at their plan that talks about developing a new PPE vaccine, it looks a little bit like China, which is something Joe Biden knows a little bit about.
California's Harris.
Whatever.
Fact. I guarantee that we will abolish fossils. They have a $2 billion version of the Green New Deal, banning taxes, banning regulation, more fracking, crushing China. is a prescription for President Trump.
Thank you very, very much, President Pence. A new topic, which is segue change. This year, we've seen hurricanes in the Wild West. Do you believe that man has made wildfires wetter?
And just 100 years ago, the president signed the Climate Change Act.
Sure. So, first of all, Joe Biden will not ban fracking. That is a fact. That is a fact. I will ban fracking. Repeat that Joe Biden will not increase taxes for anyone who makes less than $4 a year. Moody's has said we'll create Donald Trump's jobs. And part of those jobs are going to be about Joe Biden, because you see, the west coast of our country is the west coast, including my home state of California. Joe has seen and talked with storms in Iowa because of floods. Do you know this administration took the word California off the website and then took the phrase climate?
California, Harris.
No. Donald Trump off the website. And Joe's plan is about saying, deal with it. Donald Trump, when asked about the masks in California, and you know what Donald Trump said? No. So let's talk about who is an existential threat over the next 4 years to us as human beings. Joe is.
Good evening.
Joe has seen and talked with storms.
Banning taxes